All right, hello. I just want to welcome you into this new unit that we're going to be doing called angle pairs. And we're going to be using this day by day to get you through all your assignments that you need. All right, so this is Tuesday stuff, going through the vocab and getting to know what these are. So I'm just having you watch this video, read through these slides here, get a little bit more knowledgeable of these words you're going to be hearing a lot. So here's our words here, and we're actually going to go through each slide to show you pictures of what they are. So the first one is adjacent. And adjacent are angles that share a vertex. They are next to each other, okay? So think neighbors. They're neighbor angles, okay? So adjacent, you can see that ADB is adjacent to BDC, those two angles, okay? They're touching, they're close together. I don't know anything about their numbers. I just know that they are touching, they're next to each other, so we call that adjacent. The word congruent, we've kind of heard that before when we were talking about triangles, means that the angles are the same exact measurement. So we see some examples here, 48 and 48, or angle A and B to the side, we see 57, 57. So if they are congruent, they're going to be that same measurement. And you can see that with our symbol here, like the equal sign with the little squiggle on top. Okay, congruent. Our next vocab word is a linear pair. Pair meaning two angles, okay, that make up a line. Linear, you see the word line in there, okay? And they add up to 180 degrees. You're also going to hear me say that these are supplementary, but that's going to come later. Okay, so we see that angle A and B are going to have to add up to 180. They make that line. Okay, they are touching. That is also a part of it. And you look over at the next angle and we see that angle 1 and angle 2, they form a line. Those angles are touching. They are a linear pair. All right, moving on to vertical angles. Vertical angles are across from each other. You can see that. I almost like to think of it like a bow tie or an X. So A and B are going to be the same. Okay, and then looking at our other example, 2 and 4 are vertical angles, so they're congruent or equal to each other. And then 1 and 3 are vertical angles. They are congruent or equal to each other. So down here at the bottom, I think, I don't know if you're able to see it, but I said if, like in angle A and B, if angle A is 70, B also has to be 70. Okay. Complementary is two angles that add up to 90 degrees exactly. They do not have to be touching. The two angles just have to add up to 90 to make that right angle. So you can see the picture with the 50 and the 40. They're not touching, but when I add those numbers, it gives me 90. Looking at the other picture, they are touching, okay, but they make that right angle being complementary. Okay, so right angle, 90 degrees, those are complementary angles. I guess I should put it that way. In reverse that, we have supplementary, so two angles that add up to 180 degrees, making that line. They do not have to be touching to be supplementary. They just have to add up to 180. So looking at that first picture of 110 and 70, we see that those add up to 180. They're supplementary. Down below, we have another picture that is supplementary. Those two angles add up to a line. They're also a linear pair because they're touching, okay? Next, we have Wednesday stuff, which is a Kahoot. So you're just clicking your button here. It'll log you in, and you're practicing those terms. So go back through. You have this page up here to kind of help you out. You're going to be hearing congruent all throughout geometry, okay? So something to really get stuck in your head, kind of thinking that equals sign. But then we're going to take a little bit deeper dive into complementary and supplementary as we get into Thursday. All right, if you have questions, just let me know. Thanks, guys.